In the movie Unbreakable, there's an underlying key technique in the framing of shots. The movie is supposed to portray Daniel Dunn, Bruce Willis, as a superhero figure in the film and has a unique emphasis put on comic books from the character Elijah Price, Samuel L. Jackson. The framing used in the film is supposed to resemble comic books by showing the character between two objects that closes off the frame. In the first scene with Daniel Dunn, part of the frame is closed off by the seats. This is supposed to be shown from the view of the child in front of him, but it serves the purpose of creating that comic book-like effect. In the next shot, Daniel is positioned in the hospital and is talking to one of the doctors. The shot could have been focused on just the two of them talking, but instead they are shown between two curtains with someone being operated on in front of them. The next comic book framing happens when Daniel returns to his house. He and his wife are having a conversation, but the door frame and walls are cutting away from a shot solely on the two characters. Next is an important framing technique also used in comic books to show a broken relationship. Daniel and his wife are going through a tough time, and the door frame between them shows this by separating the two figures. This same technique is used in comic books when illustrators draw a thick or zigzag line between the two characters to show their separate thoughts or feelings. In a different scene, we see Daniel and his wife in the same type of situation, but this time, the door frame separating them is gone. This is showing that the two of them are making up their differences and getting back together. Another important scene using the comic book style is when the audience is introduced to Elijah Price for the first time. Here, Daniel and Elijah are seated, but instead of having a close-up of their conversation, they are positioned between two columns, which symbolizes the way comic book scenes can be illustrated. Another secret use of framing in Unbreakable is with the introduction of the character Elijah Price. Elijah has a genetic condition that makes his bones break much easier than normal, and his nickname given to him is Mr. Glass because he's so fragile. The audience's first viewings of Elijah are through glass or reflections. The first is when Elijah is born. Viewers can see that the scene is being shown from the reflection of a mirror instead of a regular shot showing the scene. Second, Eliza is shown as a young boy, and the first view of him is through the reflection of a television screen. Lastly, Elijah is introduced as a full-grown man, but the first glimpse of him is through the reflection of glass surrounding a comic book drawing. All of these examples are used to reinforce the concept of his disability and his nickname Mr. Glass. Another underlying element used in Unbreakable is the lighting and colors used in the film. When portraying Daniel Dunn in the film, he is often surrounded by the color green, whether it is in lighting or costume. This goes back to reinforce the idea of the superhero/comic book theme. A lot of different superheroes such as Green Lantern, Green Arrow, the Hulk, etc. have their main color as green, and so by portraying Daniel in this green around him, it connects the idea of the film that he is a real-life superhero. Notice how in these scenes, although it might not be pronounced, there is still a green tint of lighting either in the shadows on the character or surrounding them. With every superhero, there's a villain, and right away, the filmmakers portrayed Elijah as a contrast to Daniel by surrounding him with purple light. Purple is the main color for many supervillains, such as Lex Luthor, Magneto, and the Joker. Elijah is, like Daniel, either wearing purple or being surrounded by purple lighting.